So you just got your grubby little hands on the Marvel Legends Wolverine. And you're a little disappointed with some of Hasbro's choices regarding his articulation and looks. Well, I have good news for losers like you. I'll be showing all the upgrades that I'm going to be doing to this figure to make him my definitive MCU Wolverine figure. At least until Mafex decides to pump out their own version of this guy. Now, I'm not saying that this guy looks bad. I think he actually looks really good, especially for the price of this figure. And if you can't afford the up-and-coming SH Figure Arts Wolverine, that's kind of expensive, then I think this guy is really all you would need. There are just some small things that I think could have been better. My first big issue is the accessories. So this guy comes with two different heads, a masked head and an unmasked head. This is probably the best live action head sculpt I have ever seen from Hasbro. I mean, it looks just like Hugh Jackman. But this masked head is where I start having the problems. It's not awful, but it's just not accurate to the actual movie mask. And it's missing a lot of paint in the beard area. Like, someone give this guy some minoxidil. He also comes with his clawed hands and two other separate hands. And this is like another issue. It's that he only has one set of hands, which is the claw hands. And it comes with two other hands that don't even match. If anything, I would have just preferred if they'd given us 3 sets of hands, or just 2 sets, one clawed and one fisted. I don't know why they had to do this. Now, let's talk about these butterfly joints. The idea itself is great. Like, I love this idea. Having a ball joint that kind of plugs into body to give the shoulders as much range as like possible is like genius. Like, I love it. The only issue is just how Hasbro decided to execute it. And of course, there's also this. I mean, it works, but we all know Hasbro can give us a ball jointed waist. I mean, come on, not this damn swivel. We've seen it on the G.I. Joe Classified series, and some of the new Spider-Man figures, more specifically the new Miles Morales coming in that new Spider-Verse wave. And my last issue is the lack of paint in areas like the shoulders, back, knees, gloves, and boots. The first thing I'm going to do is upgrade his articulation. Starting with the shoulders here. As you can see, it's just the ball joint that plugs into the body. And the way that I wanted to improve this was by removing some of the plastic to hopefully open it up for some more movement. I'm going to be using a Dremel to help me kind of like Dremel everything out over here. As you can see, I'm grabbing this kind of like spiked tungsten bit tool, not sure what it's called. And this is the Dremel that I'll be using, a Craftsman Dremel. And I kind of just put the attachment in here and then I just start dremeling away. As you can see, I'm kind of getting rid of those extra inner support things, and I'm really trying to knock away the plastic that could be getting in the way. It's just guessing. Like, I really don't know what's getting in the way of these butterfly joints, but you know, I'm just knocking away anything that I think might be getting in the way. So here's a test after all the plastic's been removed, and there's really no difference. I knocked away so much plastic, but it makes barely any of a change. So yeah, a bit of a failed mod, but hey, you know, I tried at least. I'm also going to slice off this big ugly piece of plastic that holds the shoulder pads onto the shoulders, and I'm going to reattach it onto the arms with mask straps, like face mask straps. I'm just going to glue it and kind of create a loop that then holds onto the peg once it's plugged back into the body. Next will be the hardest part, because I want to make it look seamless while also adding that ball jointed waist articulation. So the plan here is to install a ball jointed waist like how I've done before on one of my older customs. As you can see, I have a paper clip kind of sticking out. That's how I usually anchor ball pegs into like figures if I ever need to make a ball joint like this. And as you can see, I'm drilling into it with like this hobby drill. I'll have a link in the description for where you can buy the same hobby drill. And now I'm just kind of gluing the socket. This is a what is it, like a Japanese action figure ball socket thing I found on Amazon. I'll also leave a link to that as well. But yeah, it fits in there nice and snug. I did drill that hole in with a Dremel as well. And now I'm putting super glue with the paper clip and just kind of sticking it in place. And with all the mods done, here is his brand new articulation. Moving on now to the paint job. What I'm doing is just touching up all the areas that are missing paint, like the shoulder pads, the masked face, the back, gloves, knees, and boots. I'm also going to be going into all the areas of the yellow suit that have the details, just giving it a little touch of brown paint to darken it and to have the details pop more compared to how it looks without any of the paint. I've seen some other people and they've put like a black wash all over the yellow for their figures, and I think that's just way too much. Like it's way too much, you know? For me, just highlighting it in a way of like with brown paint is more than enough. Like that's all you really need. I'm also going to be repainting the claws with this Tamiya aluminum paint, just because the normal claws don't really look like metal. It's got that very plasticky metallic plastic, you know. It's a very super simple paint job, but it does make all the difference. It's not too noticeable from like a distance, but you could see like the shoulder pads now have that silver lining and it looks really great. And then the details have that brown wash that makes it pop even more. The gloves have the black details as well, and the silver dry brushing. Like it really does make a difference when you get up close. Like I said though, it's not that noticeable from a distance, but it really is so much better. And those claws, dude, those claws, man, actually look like metal claws now. So like overall, I'm very happy with what I got and you know how it turned out.
You know what? You're a fucking joke. No wonder the Avengers didn't take you, or the X-Men, and they'll take fucking anyone. I mean, you are a ridiculous, immature, half-wit moron. I have never met a sadder, more attention-starved, jabbering little prick in my entire life, and that says a lot, because I've been alive for more than 200 fucking years. And I'll tell you, that bald chick was right about one thing. You will never save the world. You couldn't even save a relationship with a goddamn stripper. And motherfucker, I wish I could say you die alone. But it's one of God's best jokes that you can't die, except it's on all of us. Well, you got nothing to say, mouth?
I'm gonna fight you now.
Oh, are you?
Next are the arms. Now, everyone and their grandma has already done this mod, but they've mainly used the Marvel Legends Wolverine arms, but I think those are a little too buff, yeah? I mean, they don't look like how Hugh Jackman's arms look like in the movie. My plan instead is to give him the G.I. Joe Zymot arms. So in order to make these Zymot arms fit, I'm going to recreate the Marvel Legends arm joint. That way I don't have to do any modifications to the original arm or the body itself. I made sure to make these ball joints a little bit looser, that way that they like swap out super easily with these modified Zymot arms. And I also grinded down the forearms for these Zymot arms as well. That way the gauntlets, which you know now come off super easily, could just fit in very snugly and also still look super slim and natural for the body. It's a super simple interchangeable system, you know, because this is like what he looked like for most of the movie, but I also wanted to be able to have him with the sleeved whenever I wanted, so that's why I created this super simple, easy, interchangeable system, and I think it turned out great.
A lot of kids didn't grow up because of me. Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
That suit says different.
Yeah, you like it? Scott used to beg me to wear it. So did Gene, Storin, Beast. All of them. Wanted me to be part of the team, but I wouldn't. Told them they all looked fucking ridiculous. I couldn't have them thinking I wanted to be there. And then one day, while I was off on my own, the humans came and went mutant hunting.
I can guess the rest.
No, let me say it. I need to say it. By the time I stumbled home shit-faced from the bar, it was too late. They were dead, every... And this suit's all I got to remind me of who they were and what I did.
Now, you could stop here and keep him as like a Wolverine from the start of the movie, but I'm gonna give him some more upgrades. First, I'm gonna replace his masked head with my own 3D printed head. If you want one, I will have a link to my eBay page where I will be selling unpainted versions of these heads. This head is just more movie accurate. I mean, come on, look at that. And it also comes with 3 different interchangeable mouthpieces.
God, he loved his face. I could taste his final thought. He was so afraid. But he died a hero.
He died for murder, you dumb fuck.
And all I have to remember him by are these 2 gold-plated 50 caliber Desert Eagle pistoleros. This is for him.
Are you ready? I get to kill 100 ewes? Fuck yeah, I'm ready. Hey, you don't want to see this, bub.
That's a good girl.
This head just looks so good. Like, it really does make this figure 10 times, 100 times better, because it just looks so much better than what Hasbro gave us. Like, I don't even know what that was. Like, it was missing hair and everything, you know? Like, it just was not the best. This one, though, fantastic. Chef's kiss. I love how it turned out. I did so many tests, and I'm glad I did, because look at this thing. Like, god dang, like, it's beautiful. And it's got magnetic mouth plates that are super easy to interchange. Like, it's fantastic. And like I said, if you want one, I'll have a link to my eBay store. You can only get them unpainted, not painted. I don't sell painted stuff. They're all just unpainted. So if you want one, check the link in the description. And now for the final mod that I did to this figure. That's right, y'all. I done did it. I done made the shirtless body. And I mean, like, come on. I had to. I just had to. It was such a beautiful scene. And, you know, Hugh Jackman, being the age he is, was still able to maintain that six-pack look. I mean, come on. I just had to make it. Again, I used the Zymot, G.I. Joe Zymot arms. And for the torso, I used the G.I. Joe Quick Kick. The overall proportions and look for it is just like, it's just perfect, you know? The Quick Kick body, nice and slim, yet ripped. And the arms, nice and big, yet ripped too. I mean, it just looks perfect. Now, bringing this bad boy in for a closer look, this right here is another 3D printed head, custom 3D printed head, where I also used the Marvel Legends lower part, like the real Marvel Legends Wolverine head, and I cut it up and made it magnetizable, so it just slips right off and slips right on to the head. This one will not be on my eBay store. It takes too much work to make, and I just don't want to go through the process of doing that. But hey, you know, you could try it yourself. It's not that hard, you know. It's yeah. So kind of like the arms, this is a super easy interchangeable piece. As you can see, it kind of just pops off. Has the same joint that I showed off earlier, and it just pops right on. And it has that nice, crazy range of motion that I really want on all Marvel Legends. But for some freaking reason, Marvel Legend refuses to give it to us. For my final thoughts, I'm insanely happy with this modification, custom, whatever you want to call it. Very happy with him, to the point that I actually don't want to get the SH Figure Arts version. Like, I genuinely don't think I need it. Like, I don't want it. But I am going to get it just to modify the heads and stuff. But yeah, this guy, perfect. Chef's kiss. It's just beautiful. And thank you for sticking around this long. It's a pretty long ass video, but you know, I think it was fun to make. It was a very fun to make video. And thank you to all my patrons and my members, of course. Here they are scrolling through the screen. They actually got a teaser of some of the stop motion before I even uploaded this video. So if you want stuff like that, along with tutorials, behind the scene videos, consider joining my Patreon or memberships. You know, it helps out a lot. But yeah, that's about it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.